From Spillane Field in Wareham, Massachusetts, the 2-1 Harwich Mariners take a visit to face the Wareham Gatemen for their second road contest on the season, as Harwich looks to go 2-0 to start the season on the road and away from White House Field. Good evening, everyone, and welcome into tonight's game broadcast here on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Wyatt Kopelman, joined alongside my broadcast partner, Devin Doback. We're delighted to have you aboard here today. Harwich tied with Orleans at the top of the Cape Cod League East Division. Meanwhile, Wareham a game and a half out of first place in the opposite division. Without further ado, we bring you into the starting lineups for the visiting Harwich Mariners at 2-1 on the season, as our 20th year head coach Steve Angler looks for his 400th win here tonight after a narrow 2-1 defeat last night at the hands of the Falmouth Commodores. Leading off, the center fielder, number 36, Jacob Humphrey of UMass Lowell. Batting second, the shortstop, number 30, Ali Camarillo. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 18, Caden Culpepper. Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 27, Kennedy Jones. Batting fifth, the third baseman of Old Dominion, number 30, number 7, Kenny Lavari. Batting sixth, second baseman, number 25, Seaver King of Wingate. Batting seventh, first baseman, number 2, Ryan Wilson. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 11, Bryant Arndt of UNC Wilmington. Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 14, Eric Orado. On the mound here for the Gatemen is going to be Pickard here today. An interesting start today for Coleman Pickard, making his season debut on the season as Jacob Humphrey digs in from the right side. Harwich wearing its road Navy uniforms as it did in Orleans in its road opener, as Pickard is ready out of the windup. First pitch on the way, low and inside for ball one. First pitch dialing in at 6 p.m. Beautiful evening here for baseball in Wareham at Spillane Field.
And what a view for us up here in the Raptor cage on top of the Wareham Gatemen dugout. Kind of a cool little setup, but there's definitely a little risk involved, I would say, for sure.
1-0 goes high. It's quickly 2-0 here to Humphrey for Harwich. 2-0, tapped back into the screen. It's going to be 2-1 here. Harwich coming off that 2-1 loss last night against Falmouth. Its first loss at home this season. A Harwich team hitting .242 here. Looks to Jacob Humphrey to get a spark going at the top of the lineup here today. Pickard working with the slanted stance, deals the pitch, goes high, and it's 3-1 here.
And for Pickard, this past season for the Bryant Bulldogs, made 16 appearances, no starts, and went 1-2.
Taking on the upper inside corner at the letters for strike number 2 here. It'll be a payoff pitch to leadoff man in Jacob Humphrey.
2.70 ERA to go along with 18 strikeouts and 3 saves.
Payoff pitch, dips low, leadoff walk here for Humphrey. So a good start here for the UMass Lowell product as he picks up his second walk on the season. And that's up Ali Camarillo, as Pickard will immediately have to work out of the stretch here. Just underway here from Wareham. No score between Harwich and the Gatemen here. Ali Camarillo digging in now. Strong lead off of first here for Humphrey after a leadoff walk. The Chula Vista, California native, and Camarillo awaits the pitch here. Rising junior at CSU Northridge as he watches one high and inside for ball number 1.
Camarillo did announce his news. He's going to be a Texas A&M Aggie, so congratulations to him. Well deserved. He's been a spark for the Mariners early on in the season.
1-0 on the way from Pickard as it goes low. It's 2-0 here. Senior of Bryant, native of Auburn, Massachusetts, is Pickard. Went 2-2 with a 3.43 ERA in 10 starts. For a 12-12 Bucknell team, they went 4th in the America East this year. Here's the pitch. Taken on the upper half, it's 2-1.
Pickard also went to the University of Hartford, so not too far from the Cape here, before he transferred to Bryant.
Leadoff man aboard in Jacob Humphrey. He reached on a payoff pitch with a walk as he dives back in safely.
Mariners did collect 5 walks in the loss against Falmouth, but the story of that game, the runners left on base, 9 for the Mariners in the loss, including a bases loaded situation early on in the ball game.
None away here in the top of the first, and another check back over at first. Humphrey dives in safely.
That one much closer, though. Looked like could have been an out for sure from our view, and we got a great one here. Humphrey was caught leaning, of course, leads the team in stolen bases with a pair.
Camarillo with 3 hits on the season here as he looks to move Humphrey into scoring position after a leadoff walk. None away. 1 on for Harwich. Pitch, tap back up the middle. Charging on the shortstop, Murillo flips on to second for 1. The throw on to first is not in time. They get the leading runner in Humphrey at second as Camarillo reaches on a fielder's choice. Bring you the defensive alignment here for Wareham at 1-2 on the season. From left to right in the outfield, Goldstein, Glancy, and Bozer. From third to first, Black, Murillo, Michaels, and Cook. The catcher to Sebastian Picard here tonight, rather Coleman, Picard, Brennan. So runner on first once again here for Harwich. Fielder's choice for Ali Camarillo is Kanan Culpepper steps in here. Camarillo shaking off a hitless night last night as he reaches here, as goes low and outside to Culpepper.
Last night, Culpepper went 1 for 2 with a pair of walks in the loss. He's up to 2 hits on the season.
Foul back behind home plate. Leaves the ballpark. It's 1-1 here to the Kansas State product in Culpepper. Rising junior for the Wildcats. Was third on the Wildcats in batting average this season at .325. Had 10 home runs.
Mariners could use one of those right now. The only team in the league without a homer.
The 1-1 from Picard goes high above the letters. It's going to be 2-1 here. No score here in the top of the first from Spillane Field in Wareham. Right now the Harwich Mariners with a runner on first in Ali Camarillo after reaching on a fielder's choice. One away, Picard working out the stretch, 2-1, breaking ball misses high, it's 3-1.
Find a way to get Picard deep in accounts. That's only going to stunt his outing, and then if you can dip into the Gatemen bullpen, that will be key. They're sporting an ERA above 7 early on through the season.
3-1. Taking on the inner half, it goes to 3-2. Here to Culpepper. Plate discipline has been a strength for Harwich at times here for these first 3 games. But Harwich with a considerable number of strikeouts last night, similarly to opening night. Nonetheless, Harwich getting the win on opening night. Picard with the payoff pitch. Half swing and a tap over towards the Harwich dugout. We'll do it again at 3-2.
Might have got a piece of Seaver King over there on the bench. They laugh it off. It wasn't hit too hard, just off the end of the knob.
Culpepper will try a payoff pitch again here from Picard. Runner on first, takes off, tapped over towards the right side, foul, as it rolls back into play. And they're going to tag Culpepper as it's going to be a foul ball ultimately.
That's an interesting little circumstance there. Of course, we're playing on gravel, so some weird rolls, but it actually hit the grass on the right side of the base path and kicked back into play. So the umpire is going to rule it foul, but in my book, that should have been a fair ball. Mariners catch a break there.
A few hit streaks for Harwich thus far. 3 with 2 straight hits. Hunter Fitzgerald's out of the lineup here today. He's on a 3-game hitting streak. Kalen Culpepper, meanwhile, trying to move Camarillo in his scoring position here. He's the only man on here for Harwich. Still no score. 3-2. Tap back behind home plate again. We'll do it again.
And I'm willing to bet on that last play that's probably something that they went over in the pregame meeting with the umpires and coaches, that in a circumstance of that likelihood, that would be a foul ball when it kicked back fair.
On first, Camarillo. 1 away here with no score. Pickoff attempt once again, unsuccessful.
We've seen about 3 or 4 of those. The Mariners looking to be aggressive. We saw Humphrey try and take off once before foul, and now Camarillo trying to pick up the spare change and head down to second himself.
1 on, 1 away here in the top of the first. No score. Now the runner takes off again. 3-2 taken high as it's ball 4 here to Culpepper as he'll reach and win the full count battle here with a walk.
Might have had Camarillo at second. Had that been a strike, would have been a bang-bang double play right there. Mariners catch yet another break early on, and they're in business with 2 men on.
That brings up Kennedy Jones in the cleanup spot here for Harwich. Has ignited the Harwich lineup thus far. Rising junior at UNC Greensboro, the first-year member of the Mariners this season. All-conference first team there as he takes one on the inner half for strike 1.
And the pace Wareham's been playing at, 2 hours and 5 minutes. So it's been some pretty quick games for the Gatemen. Harwich finished up in about 2:25 yesterday.
0-1 from Picard. Fastball goes high. It's 1-1. 2 walks last night for Jones in the home loss to Falmouth. Harwich's first on the season. Starting off with 2 straight wins, a 10-3 win at Orleans, and on opening night, a 4-3 win over Yarmouth Dennis. Picard still out of the stretch, working from the middle of the rubber, the 1-1. Lofted high towards the right side, ranging into foul territory, removing the mask Brennan as he leaves it for the first baseman and Cook, and they're 2 away here in the top of the first, still no score.
And this is something the Mariners really have to figure out. Granted, it's very early on, but every time they've had a little threat going, first and second, 1 out, they've gotten a lot of just outs that can't move the runners from station to station, and it's going to continue to hurt them until they can cash in. Great pitching last night from Shimoleski. He surrendered just 2 runs in 6 innings before Pearson slammed the door. But when Harwich is only providing 1 run of offense, it's going to be tough to win a game.
And Harwich faced a very difficult reliever as a pickoff attempt back over at second is lost away into the shallow outfield. Running over to third, Camarillo, as getting behind him into second is going to be Culpepper. So an E1 that time on the pitcher here for Wareham, as there are now 2 in scoring position, and a huge opportunity for the lefty in Lavari.
And credit to Coach Mark Tebow, who was able to spot that a pickoff attempt was in motion, allowed Camarillo to get back in time, and then the ball skittered into center field.
Now the first pitch to Lavari, and it goes off the outer half, called for a strike.
Kind of crossed the catcher up, and Jimmy Brennan, he was slow to get up, might have caught him in the wrong spot there.
Lavari going 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts in last night's 2-1 loss, as Brennan will have a word with his battery mate in Coleman Picard. As Devin mentioned, Picard throwing 12 1/3 innings in his freshman season at Hartford. He averaged more than 12 and a half strikeouts per game. Runners in scoring position here for Kenny Lavari, the southpaw, in a righty-lefty battle. Still no score here in the top of the first. 2 away here for Harwich. The 0-1 from Picard. Swing and a miss on a slider. It's 0-2.
Lavari was 3 for 3 with a pair of walks heading into game 3 last night before he had an offer. So trying to get back on that hot train, and a great chance to do it. 2 runners in scoring position, give your team a lead. Engler bumped him up to the 5 spot. Some real confidence in the 2-year Mariner.
Lavari with nearly 70 hits over each of the last 2 seasons at Old Dominion, now the Sun Belt Conference. 0-2 on the way. Takes a bounce in the dirt. Goes to 1-2 here. A good take there from Lavari, and a better block from the catcher and Brennan behind home.
Yeah, especially with speed on third base. Got to make sure that ball stays in front of you, and Jimmy Brennan did just that. Keeps this game scoreless.
Lavari 3 for 7 on the season here. 2 RBIs. Has a chance to make it 3 and 4 here. Still no score in the top of the first from Spillane Fields between Wareham and Harwich. 1-2. Fouled towards the left side, high in the air. It's going to go into foul territory and out of play.
Right into the seats. A little poison there as the fans all had to get out of the way. Around the league, Brewster on top of Hyannis right now, 3-2 in the bottom of the third out at Stony Brook Field. YD and Falmouth just getting going out at Arnie Allen Diamond. Katua and Bourne set to square off at Doran Park. And Orleans heads to Chatham to play the Anglers at 7.
Runners on second and third here for Harwich. The 1-2 on the way. Chopped over towards the left side. Quick play at short for Maria. He moves to his left. Fires on a first in time. And the top of the first comes to a close. So Harwich brings 5 to the plate and scores no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 error rather, and leaves 2 stranded. No score going into the bottom half of the first here from Spillane Field between the Gatemen and the Mariners. This is Harwich Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Going into the bottom of the first here from Spillane Field, Harwich and Wareham scoreless here as Josh Bostic, the Grayson College product, right-hander wearing 34 in red on navy here tonight for Harwich. Makes his first start on the season. He's set to face 1, 2, 3 hitters here as he smashes one foul. Lineup here for Wareham at 1 and 2 on the season, leading off the center fielder, number 11, David Glancy. Batting second, the right fielder, number 6, Bobby Bozer. Batting third, the left fielder, number 5, Dylan Goldstein. The cleanup hitter, designated hitter, number 36, Cade Sullivan. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 46, Will Cook. 0-1 on the way, a swing and a miss. It's 0-2 quickly here to the leadoff hitter in Glancy. Batting sixth, third baseman, number 28, Dixon Black. The 7-hole hitter, the shortstop, number 3, Sebastian Murillo. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 19, Kevin Michaels. And rounding out the starting 9, the catcher, number 13, Jimmy Brennan. 0-2. Taken just low, and it's going to be 1 and 2 here to Glancy. Redshirt junior at St. John's, native of Neptune, New Jersey. He's a right-hander wearing 11, stepping on the right-handed batter's box here. He's 2 for 13 on the year. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. First strikeout here for Bostic on the season, and the leadoff man is gone here in the bottom of the first.
He will take that, absolutely. A junior college guy coming up and playing in the Cape League. That's pretty impressive when you think about the quality of talent, especially Power 5 schools and people of that nature. So congrats to Josh to be here. And first batter, first strikeout.
Here's the first pitch to Bozer, and it goes low. No score here in the bottom of the first from Spillane Fields. Harwich and Wareham meeting for the first time on the season. Wareham at 1 and 2 on the season. A team with the lowest hitting average in the league right now. Facing a Harwich team that excelled with the home run ball last season. 1-0 on the way. Breaking ball clips the upper half, and it's 1-1 here to the 2-hole hitter in Bozer.
Bostic has some serious control, too. A guy who loves to fan hitters. Struck out 16 people back on March the 15th against Temple College.
Next pitch goes way high at helmet level. It's going to be 2-1 here.
103 total strikeouts in 60 2/3 innings. So he's always looking to blow people away here. Let's see what he's bringing.
All right, the count 1-2 with 1 away. Here's the pitch. Taken just low on a changeup. It's going to be 2-2 now. 1 away, none on here for Wareham after a strikeout from the leadoff hitter in David Glancy. Harwich looking to get back into the win column here tonight on the road. 2-2. Slider misses low and inside. It's 3-2. Bosser went 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts and a 3-2 loss to Katuitt last night. Now 0 for 9 on the season as he looks to reach here. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts to start off his start here, and Bostic has the top 2 retired here against the Wareham lineup.
And yeah, he is early in a rhythm. Gotta love it. Blowing people away. Very comfortable out there on the mound. Pitching with some serious confidence and mojo early on.
Here's Dylan Goldstein of Florida Atlantic. The left fielder watches one on the outer half for strike number 1.
Goldstein spent some time in the Cape League last season. Played for the Brewster Whitecaps at the end.
4 for 11 on the season. Here's the pitch. Taken on the outer corner. It's quickly 0-2. Bostic commanding the outer half right now with the fastball. Meanwhile, Goldstein, someone we look to often in this lineup here, the junior of Florida Atlantic. The 0-2 on the way. Skied over towards the left side, foul, and ranging into foul territory is Lavari at third as he makes the catch just on the left field chalk for a 1-2-3 inning here in Wareham's first time up. 2 strikeouts and a foul out as Josh Bostic goes clean through the first and facing the minimum. No score between Harwich and Wareham going into the second. This is Harwich Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. On to the top of the second here from Spillane Field. It's King, Wilson, and Arndt due up as King rips it into left field for a base hit. He takes a wide turnaround first, and he's going to hold up as he thought about second. Harwich has its first hit of the night, and it's the first hit for either side as Seaver King, the Wingate product, works a leadoff hit.
Another guy coming from a small school in Wingate College, or Wingate University, excuse me, a D2 guy, really making his mark in this Mariners lineup early on.
That forces Picard to work out of the stretch here. Strong lead off of first for King as Wilson digs in the Davidson product now, standing on the right-handed side as he takes one high and inside. Ball gets away from the catcher, Brennan, and off for second standing up is Seaver King. We a wild pitch there.
Really nice read by King to notice that the ball popped out of the catcher in Brennan's glove and then advanced down to second without a throw. Really good awareness. You get a late jump on that, you could run yourself into an out.
None away, no score here in the top of the second between Harwich and Wareham. The 1-0 goes low and away, and it's 2-0 here. Wilson, a rising senior at Davidson, had a team-best batting average at .387 in his third season with the Wildcats of the Atlantic 10 Conference. Now Wilson working with a runner on second and King after a leadoff base hit to left center. The 2 on the way. Foul back into the netting. It's 2-1.
Another golden opportunity for the Mariners here. As they have a runner in scoring position, nobody gone down. These are the situations, as I alluded to earlier, that they couldn't capitalize yesterday on. And that is ultimately what led to their loss.
Wilson looking for his first hit. He has a great chance here with a runner in scoring position. Picard with the 2-1. Breaking ball grabs the upper half, and it's 2-1. On second, King after a leadoff hit to left center field. Wilson scoring his first run of the season. The Mariners' first road win of the season at Orleans. It was a 7-run victory. 2-2. Breaking ball line back up the middle and past the diving glove of Michaels. Waving around from third is going to be King as he will score standing up. A huge RBI base knock for Ryan Wilson. It's his first on the season and his first hit, for a matter of fact, and Harwich has an early 1-0 lead here in the second.
Really nice piece of hitting, getting the hands inside and barreling it right up the middle past the diving, Kevin Michaels, who looked like he might have had a chance at it. Probably no chance at the runner, but could have knocked it down, and maybe Seaver King wouldn't have scored.
Still no outs here as Harwich takes the game's first lead at 1-0. Now the runner on first is Wilson. The first pitch is lofted into left field from Arndt as he backs up and makes the catch. Goldstein in left field. Retreating back to first will be Wilson as there's one away with Harwich leading 1-0 in the second.
Gave that one a good ride, that's for sure. Another few push-ups, it would have left the yard, but nonetheless, a loud first out of this inning. Mariners are seeing the ball well out of the hand of Picard.
A loud first out here in the second. Harwich with a 1-0 lead after a hit here from Ryan Wilson. 1 on, 1 out here for Eric Arado, the Northern Illinois product. Arado hitting in the 9-hole here today. The southpaw awaits the first pitch from Picard. Here it comes. Breaking ball misses inside just below the belt. It's 1-0.
Was a good spot for that off-speed pitch. Missed it just a little bit on the interior, but nonetheless, if he's able to live there, some of these Harwich Mariners, especially the right-handed ones, are going to have a lot of trouble.
1-0 on the way, inside and low. It's 2-0. 1-0 lead for Harwich here in the top of the second from Spillane Fields. Harwich taking its second road trip on the season. Losing last night 2-1 against the Falmouth Commodores, getting on the board first here with an RBI base hit to left field. The 2 on the way. Slider comes down the middle. It's 2-1. Arado, the Northern Illinois product, 0 for 2 entering here tonight with a walk as well. He's only played in one game this season after collecting 50 hits in 53 games at Northern Illinois. Pickoff attempt back to first, and they got him in time. Wilson got caught off guard and too far off the bag as there are now 2 away here after a fly out to left field.
Really good move we've seen from Coleman Picard early on here. He's taken a few bids, almost got Camarillo leaning. This time takes care of Ryan Wilson. Mariners being aggressive on the base paths.
Now the base is empty, the 2-1 pitch. Tapped back behind home. It's Going to be 2-2 here. Kiefer Orado this season at Northern Illinois. Certainly drew a lot of walks. 51 aside from the 50 hits he had. Now he works with the bases empty and 2 away. Here's the 2-2. Tapped onto the plate, and it goes foul. It's going to be 2-2 again. First-year member of the Mariners this season. Started all 53 games with Northern Illinois. Opportunity for Harwich to put together a 2-out spark after the pickoff attempt nonetheless. The 2-2 from Picard. Chopped over towards the right side. Michaels moving to his right. Scoops fires to first in time as the top of the second comes to a close. Ground out to second closes it after Harwich scores 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and leaves none on base. 1-0 lead for Harwich going into the home half of the second. This is Harwich Mariners baseball, the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. One nothing Harwich lead going into the bottom of the second after an RBI base hit from Ryan Wilson of Davidson. Due up the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Kate Sullivan, Will Cook, and Dixon Black against Josh Bastick in his first start on the season. First pitch, a line and fire, and it's a changeup that comes down the middle. First strike number 1. Sullivan of Western Michigan, the junior, standing at 6'4", 220. Here's the 0-1 to the Naperville, Illinois product as he swings and misses, and it's quickly 0-2.
Bostic is just a flamethrower out there. I mean, the stuff he's bringing with such confidence in all his spots he is hitting early on here.
0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, drop third strike. Arendt sheds the mask, zips it down to first. Third strikeout, and the first 4 retired here from Josh Bostic. The Grayson College product is rolling here in his first start of the season.
Late breaking action to get that one in the dirt. Made the cleanup hitter and Sullivan look silly there. Swinging at that pitch that ended up bouncing. Really nice pitcher's pitch, especially when you're ahead in the count like that 0-2.
Now it's over to Will Cook, the Louisville product. Bostic earning 3 wins at Grayson College this year as he deals a fastball on the outer half for strike number 1. Cook at 6'5", 215, the Dayton, Ohio native, behind the count here to start against the right-hander in Bostic. Here's the 0-1. Tapped over towards the right side. Bostic moving to his left off the mound. He'll take it himself to the bag. An excellent play there by the Grayson College product. He waved off Wilson at first, and the Davidson product let him have it as there are 5 up and 5 down to start here for Bostic.
Yeah, wow, he just charged towards first base. That was awesome. And then he said, "I got this, Ryan," and he slung it around the diamond. Really nice play there that time. Quick reflexes.
Here's the first pitch to Dixon Black, and it's hacked back into the screen for strike number 1. 1-0 lead for Harwich here in the bottom of the second from Spillane Fields. Harwich and Wareham meeting for the first time here on the season. Bostic working out the stretch with nobody on and 2 away. Here's the 0-1. Goes high and inside. It's 1-1. Shadows extending across the infield. Sun gradually setting here at Spillane Fields. 1-1. Breaking ball misses inside of the belt. And it's 2-1 here.
We've already caught most of the shade. We both got our sweatshirts on, ready to go here. But yeah, once that sun goes down, it's amazing how cool it gets, especially with the breeze blowing in from right to left.
Dixon Black 0 for 4 to start the season here for Wareham, which has nobody on and 2 away. 2-1. Taken down the middle, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, this is just impressive stuff we're seeing from Bostic. Continues to just pound the zone and make hitters put it in play. They've really not been up to that task yet.
2-2 on the way. Lobbed over towards the right side, ranging into foul territory. Wilson, he has to fight off the sun, and he leaves it off for King, who makes an over-the-shoulder grab. A huge play that time from King as he ranged all the way into foul territory, played the chalk well, and he makes the catch near the first base bag for the final out of the second. Another 1-2-3 job here for Bostic going into the top of the third. 1-0 lead for Harwich here on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Into the top of the third here at Spillane Field with Harwich ahead early 1-0 here. Coleman Picard steps on and deals a first pitch swinging strike to Jacob Humphrey for strike number 1. Humphrey on the afternoon reached on a walk back in the first. 0-1 he sees on the inner half on a slider. It's 1-1. RBI single from Ryan Wilson, putting Harwich ahead early, 1-1 high and away. 2-1 here to the leadoff man in Humphrey. Had a walk and a hit with 2 strikeouts in the loss to Falmouth last night. Harwich's first defeat on the season. The 2-1 from Picard. Taken for a strike at the letters, and it's 2-2. Humphrey with his first Cape Cod League hit at Orleans. 2-2 on the way. High and inside, brushes him off the plate. It's 3-2. Quiet start to the season for Humphrey, Devin. You know he's going to be able to try and set a spark, even if it just means reaching base, period. Payoff pitch on the way from Picard. Line back up the middle and through for a base hit past the diving glove of Murillo at shortstop as Humphrey has a leadoff base hit, and that's the spark you need to see if you're Steve Englert as the Harwich Mariners still have a 1-0 lead here in the third.
And the thing I'm loving from the Mariners, they've had every leadoff man on to this point. Humphrey walking in the first and singling now in the third. Then they had Seaver King single, and he came around to score in the second. Getting that early offense opens up so many doors and opportunities.
Forces Coleman Picard, the starter for Wareham, to work out of the stretch for the third time already here today. Humphrey with about an 8-foot lead off the first base bag. Here's the first pitch to Ali Camarillo. Served high in the air down to left field, losing the hat Goldstein as he makes the catch just near the chalk. Retreating back to first is Humphreys. There's 1 away. Camarillo falling to 0 for 1 on the evening after reaching on a fielder's choice back in the first. And that brings up Caden Culpepper for the second time here today. He reached first back on a walk back in the first with none away. 1-0 lead for Harwich here in the top of the third from Spillane Field. The wind blowing out to left field, shadows extending across the deep infield. 1 away, a runner on first here for Harwich after a leadoff single from Jacob Humphrey, the UMass Lowell product. Picard still out of the stretch. He deals the first pitch. Runner takes off. It goes high. The throw down to second is going to be not in time. Stolen base here for Jacob Humphrey. Harwich's first stolen bag on the night, and there's a runner in scoring position against Picard, the right-hander.
Really nice job that time by the umpire to spot that the ball came loose, because it looked like Humphrey might have been out, but A drop ball by Kevin Michaels will allow him to get in a scoring position.
Culpepper looking for his first hit on the day here and to drive home Harwich's second run. Picard has the signs, the 1-0. Lofted over the left side into the glove of Black at third as he fakes a throw back to second. Diving in time Humphrey, and they're 2 away. It hung in the air for about a half a second, and Black read it well at third as Picard still works out of the stretch here. Now stepping in Kennedy Jones of UNC Greensboro. Harwich still ahead 1-0 here with 2 away in the top of the third from Spillane Field. An RBI base hit from Ryan Wilson back in the second. Picard looking back at second, deals the first pitch. It goes low on a fastball for ball 1. Jones fouling out to first, back in the first. Harwich stranded 2, both in scoring position, and made up for it last inning to get on the board first here. Harwich looking to improve to 3-1 on the season and send Wareham to 1-3. Here's the 1-0 from Picard. Line back up the middle, bouncer from Michaels at second, fires on to first, and it's in time. Not the hardest hit ball in the direction of Michaels, and he lofted it over to first in time as Harwich scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and leaves 1 on base. 1-0 lead for the Mariners going into the bottom of the third. You're listening to Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. Into the bottom of the third here, Josh Bastic, the Grayson College product. Tonight's starter with 6 up and 6 down, set to face the bottom third of the order for the Wareham Gatemen at 1-2 on the season. It'll be Sebastian Murillo, Kevin Michaels, and Jeremy Brennan due up here. Murillo at 5'11", 195. First pitch he sees is down the middle on a slider for strike number 1. 3 strikeouts thus far for Bostic as he works out of the stretch from the middle of the rubber. Here's the 0-1. Taps back behind home plate. It's 0-2.
I love when the umpires get drilled with the foul ball and then they walk out and throw it back to the pitcher as if to say they're okay. Always funny when that happens.
A run scored back in the second on an RBI base hit from Ryan Wilson with his first base knock on the season. Harwich was unable to add any more base runners thereafter after stranding 2 in the first. The slow rocket fire from Bostic, 0-2, is lined over towards the right side as it leaves the ballpark foul. We'll do it again. Murillo at 5'11", 195, the Huntington Beach, California native. Here's the 0-2. Check swing, goes low in the dirt. It's 1-2.
Murillo, of course, went to Long Beach State, played for the Danbury Westerners and the NECBL as well a couple years ago.
1-2 dips low and outside. It's 2-2.
And now is transferred to Georgia and is playing for the Gatemen in the Cape League. So upgrades on all cylinders for him.
Flyouts have been strong thus far for Bostic, aside from the 3 strikeouts. Those make it the 6 outs for him. 2-2. Tapped over towards the right side. Bostic off the mound. He loses the cap on the way. Covers the first base bag in time. A good flip from Wilson on the way. And the leadoff man is gone once again here for Wareham in the third, with Harwich still leading 1-0.
He's just fooling these hitters. I don't think they've put it out of the infield yet. Through 2 1/3 inning, no hard, solid contact. Bostic's just been in the zone.
Second ground ball out forced here for Bostic, as there's still none on here for Wareham, looking for its first base runner on the game. One away, 1-0 lead for Harwich. The first pitch on the way, high and inside to Kevin Michaels for ball 1. Michaels, the redshirt junior at St. John's in Queens, New York. Here's the 1-0. Check swing, it went high, and a deem down to first. It's a strike, it's 1-1. The 1-1 from Bostic. Fastball misses low, it's 2-1. Michaels with a strong season at St. John's this year. He had 3 hits, a double against Butler, coming in that 3-hitting outing as well. Here's the 2-1 from the right-hander Bostic. Lofted out towards left field. That sends Jones backing up to the track. He looks up, and it's gone. A towering shot from Kevin Michaels, as it's 1-1 here in the bottom of the third from Spillane Field after an RBI base hit from Ryan Wilson back in the second.
What a blast that was, and Michaels, not huge by any means, but got all of that one. He is strong and just put that one way out of the ballpark. Wareham collects their second homer of their season, the first time they've really got to Bostic. Let's see how he responds.
First hit on the season from Michaels. He only had a walk to this day, as Jimmy Brennan, the catcher, takes one low for ball number 1. 1-1 between Harwich and Wareham here. Second road game of the year for the Mariners. 1-0 on the way. Taken below the letters for strike number 1. Nobody on, 1 out here for Wareham as it gets it on the board here with a solo blast from Michaels. A 1-1. Hacked back behind home plate. It's foul and it leaves the park. And it's 1-2.
Yeah, and Bostic throws with such velocity that if a hitter's able to catch up to it, it is going to go, and that's exactly what Michaels did in the last at-bat.
Brennan, the sophomore. Brennan, the sophomore at Post University, native of Newton, New Jersey. 1-2. He watches bounce in front of him for ball number 2. My bad on that, Devin. 0 for 1 through 2 games is Brennan. Quiet start to the season. Here's the 2-2. And it goes low on a fastball. It's 3-2. Harwich had so many chances last night after playing with its first deficit on the season. Devin, you had to think that 1 run wasn't enough, and Wareham just proved it right there with that 1-out home run from Kevin Michaels. Brennan trying to get someone on base here. The payoff pitch. Bounces low for ball 4, and a 1-out walk here for Wareham as Brennan reaches for the first time on the afternoon.
So, yeah, it looks like Bostic a little rattled right now. Home run and then a walk after we've seen such great control out of him to this point.
So here's David Glancy. Flips the lineup card here for Wareham. Struck out swinging back in the first as Bostic works out of the stretch. Here's the first pitch. Taken high for ball 1. Bostic retiring the first 7 he faced. 3 strikeouts, 2 foul outs, a pair of groundouts as well. 1-0 on the way. Fastball misses low, almost a back pick down to first. Arndt decides to hold up. 2-0 quickly here to Glancy. Center fielder here, redshirt junior of St. John's, 2 for 13 to start the season entering today. 0 for 4 last night against Katuitt. The 2-0 from Bostic. Right-hander misses low, and it goes to 3-0.
Does have the other home run for the Gatemen, though, so very impactful hit of his, too.
Tied at 1 in the bottom of the third after a solo home run from Kevin Michaels of St. John's. Harwich getting on the board first with an RBI base hit. 3-0. Breaking ball down the middle, it's 3-1. Glancy, the redshirt junior, hit .284 in 45 games at St. John's this season. The runner on first here, Jimmy Brennan, the pickoff attempt back to first as it gets away from the first baseman and Wilson, and he will retreat in time to prevent Brennan from advancing to second.
Bostic looking for a pickoff of his own after we saw a great one from Coleman Picard earlier.
Harwich climbing in the first, ahead of first, back in the second. Bostic, the right-hander, deals the 3-1. Tapped past the glove of Bostic on the mound. Slow dribble over to short for Camarillo. He fires on to first in time. As that moves the runner in Brennan over to second on the 6-3 ground out. And there's runner in scoring position here for Gatemen.
And just an instinct play by Bostic to go for that ball. But if it had gotten through, probably room service double play, 6-4-3. Unfortunate break for the M's there, but at least they get the one out. And now all you got to do is focus on the batter.
Gatemen with only one hit on the afternoon. It's a solo home run. Now 2 away for Bostic. Here's the first pitch to Bobby Bozer, and it goes low for ball 1. Took Bostic to a full count back in the first before striking out swinging. Bozer, the junior of South Florida. Bostic looking back at second, the 1-0. Taking strike at the letters. It's 1-1 here. Struck out swinging back in the second. Went 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts in that 1-run loss to Katuitt last night. Dropped Wareham to 1-2. 1.5 games out of first in the Cape West Division. Runner on second here for Wareham and Brennan. Here's the 1-1 from Bostic. Right-hander misses high. It's going to go to 2-1.
Bozer hit .323 in his 52 games at South Florida. Second highest average on the team.
Three hits for Harwich, one of them an RBI single to get on the board first. Bostic trying to get out of this one. 2-1. Tap back into the screen. It goes to 2-2. Runner on second, Brennan. 2 away here in the bottom third from Spillane Field. Harwich and Wareham tied at 1. Bozer had 16 multiple hit games for South Florida, a team that finished 18 below 500. 2-2. Breaking ball misses low. It goes to 3-2. Two teams coming into this one with a pair of 1-run losses. Harwich falling to Falmouth 2-1 last night, leaving the bases loaded early. 3-2. Lofted into center field. Humphrey ranging back, looking up, and it bounces in front of the wall. Rounding third and scoring is Jimmy Brennan, the catcher, stopping at second. Bozer on a 2-out stand-up double as Wareham takes its first lead on the afternoon. It's 2-1 Gatemen here in the bottom of the third.
That was another shot out there on left center. Was able to score the run, and just hurts of what could have been if that ball had been a double play ball and Bostic didn't get a piece of it. So Wareham got an extra life, another batter, and they were able to hit a really nice one. Credit to Bozer poking that one out there.
Couple of soft ground balls here from Harwich and from Wareham as well. And that time it was just too much for Camarillo to handle at shortstop. Bozer on second now after the 2-out RBI double as his battery mate, Bostic's battery mate in Arndt comes out to have a word with him here. First deficit on the night here for Harwich after an RBI single back in the second. Harwich tied it last night before Falmouth retook the lead for its final run scored on the game. Harwich, the team, had played with the lead in its first 2 games this season. 10-3 win at Orleans, 4-3 win on opening night. Now stepping in Dylan Goldstein as he watches one come down the middle for strike number 1. Goldstein fouled out to third back in the first. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Bostic as he retired the first 7 he faced. Goldstein of Florida Atlantic, another South Florida product here. 0-1. Lofted back behind home plate, and it goes to 0-2. 2-1 lead for Wareham here in the bottom of the third with 2 away. Runner on second in Bobby Bowser, the South Florida product, as he leaves it for another South Florida native in Dylan Goldstein of Southwest Ranches, Florida. 4 for 12 here to start the season. Has 3 RBIs, looking to make it 4. 0-2. Rope down the right field line, and it bounces as a fair ball. Getting the wave around sign is Bowser from third as he will score standing up. Charging on for third will be Goldstein as he's well past second. The throw into third is too late. A 2-out RBI triple for Dylan Goldstein And the Florida Atlantic product, who earned second team All-Conference USA honors this season, puts his Wareham team ahead 3-1 here in the bottom of the third.
Really nice base running. Actually ran through the stop sign. Third base coach wanted him to stay at second. He takes the gamble himself and gets into third with a nice hook slide and gives the Gatemen a 3-1 lead.
RBI double and an RBI triple here for Wareham in the third, now leading by 2 after Harwich took a 1-0 lead in the second. First pitch swung on and missed from Cade Sullivan for strike number 1.
Every Gateman hit has been for extra bases up to this point. They have 3, homer, a triple, and a double.
It's good you bring it up. We actually mentioned earlier it was a weekly hitting Gateman team going into today as the 0-1 is swung on a miss. It's 0-2 here to Sullivan, the cleanup hitter. Western Michigan products, Naperville, Illinois native, back up for a second time here today. Struck out swinging to start off the second. A Wareham team, it's just hitting 184 entering today. 2-strike pitch from Bostic. Fastball goes off the outer half. It's going to be 1-2 here.
Got to find a way to get this out and end the inning. Bostic trying to do so. Nice pitch there, just missed outside. For Goldstein, he becomes the 3rd player this season in the Cape League to have a triple. Tied for the league, of course.
The 1-2. Foul tipped off the glove of Bostic, or of Arndt, I should say. Stay at 1-2. Breezy evening here in Wareham after Harwich played a breezy one last night at White House Field. Bostic, the Racing College product, looking out of this one without more than 3 on the board. 1-2 goes low and away. It's going to be 2-2 here. Bostic with an ERA of 2.52 this season, had 103 strikeouts in just nearly 61 innings at Grayson College this year. He started off strong. He's fallen into a bit of a hole as he gets a 2-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. 4th strikeout of the night here for Bostic, but nonetheless, Wareham takes its first lead on the night, scoring 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and leaving 1 on base. Going into the top of the 4th, 3-1 deficit here for Harwich. This is Harwich Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Three to 1 deficit for Harwich against the Wareham Gatemen. Onto the 4th inning as Kenny Lavari chops one up the middle and through for a base hit over towards right field as the Harwich Mariners have another leadoff hit. And over towards the play-by-play duties for the 4th, 5th, and 6th, my broadcast partner, Devin Dobick.
Thank you, Wyatt. Kenny Lavari starting things off with a nice single there. That's the 4th leadoff man that has reached for the Mariners. Every one so far throughout the game. Only one has come around to score, though. That was Seaver King in the 2nd. Mariners trailing 3-1, as digging in is Seaver King himself. 1 for 1 with a single and scored a run. He lines this one out into the gap, and it's going to be a leaping grab by Bobby Bozer. Showing off the vertical there. That one would have been extra bases for sure if he had not made such a great play, and so that will be a allowed first out.
Well, Harwich got a great start with the first 7 batters retired from Bostic on the mounds, but now has to turn the page here and just get runners in a scoring position here. You mentioned it, Harwich doing an excellent job of reaching base in leadoff situations.
Ryan Wilson digs in. He singled to drive in Seaver King before he was picked off back in the second. He's going to line this one toward the shortstop, Murillo, who makes a grab. Murillo just a few steps to his left that time, and just like that, there's 2 outs in the blink of an eye.
Wilson just sat on that breaking ball well enough, swung hard through the zone, but it was just floated out towards shortstop. Murillo was moving so well to his left, was able to read it just in front of the second base bag for out number 2 here.
Brian Arndt now will take his hacks. The catcher had some warning track power back in the second inning as he flew out to left fielder and Goldstein. It's 0-1 to start things off here. Into his 4th inning of work is Picard, and he's really settled down, has given up all these leadoff hits, but then pitched his way around it, almost like the pressure has helped him. 0-1. It's going to be a pickoff attempt. Lavari back in there safely. Not a huge lead from him, but Picard's had his luck over at first base as he took care of Wilson. And here comes the 0-1 offering to Brian Arndt. Checked his swing, but it's in there for a strike anyway, and so now Arndt going to have to protect. He's behind 0-2.
Yeah, it's a tough pitch to take there if you're Arndt. Taught to pitch low first, and Coleman Picard has really started to settle into this one. Devin has retired 5 of the last 6 he's faced here, aside from the leadoff base hit for Kenny Lavari to start off the 4th.
Going to be time called.
Hey, Devin, can you believe Oral Roberts is going to the College World Series?
I really can't.
Did you see that?
They've had some serious Cinderella stories between their basketball team, which not this past March Madness, but the one before. They made a run to the Elite Eight, I believe, before they lost, and now College World Series. They're starting to develop a little powerhouse there. Here comes the 0-2 to Arndt. Misses up high for a ball. Fastball way above the head, and it'll be 1-2. Picard comes set. And the pitch. Breaking ball misses down low in the dirt. And so it'll be 2-2. Brian Arndt does have a pair of RBI on the season. It'll be nice to double that total 1 swing of the bat. Who also not up the ball game. Showed off his power, now coming with a little vengeance. Here comes the 2-2. That is going to be popped up over into foul territory. Cook ranging over, but it's going to escape just into the bleachers. So Arndt will stay alive. Lavari getting his steps in over at first base, especially with 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Mariners trail by 2 as well. 3-1 Gatemen here in inning number 4. Picard takes a look at Lavari. And here comes the 2-2 offering. This is going to be lined through the gap on the left side for a base hit. So Brian Arndt has a great at-bat, a quality one, and stays the inning alive. Excuse me for that poor grammar, but they will continue to hack. It'll be the 9-hitter Eric Arado climbing in.
Just right through the 5-6 hole there, and Eric Arado now has a lot of traffic to work with on the base pass. Just a slow-moving ground ball and not even within reach of Murillo or Black near the hot corner.
Infield playing back. Second baseman Michaels on the outfield grass just about. A nice gravel infield that Spolian Field features. Venue of the 2022 Cape League All-Star Game as well. Of course, 2023 All-Star Game will be at White House Field, a little closer to us. No balls and a strike. The pitch to Arado misses outside to even it at 1. Top of the order on deck, Jacob Humphrey trying to get his chance to hit here. Mariners looking to create a little rally late in this inning. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Arado. He's going to chop it over to the second baseman, Michaels. He'll collect it, flip on to first, and the side is retired. So despite a pair of singles, the Mariners can't move them anywhere. We head to the bottom of the fourth, still 3-1 Gatemen on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back to Spillane Field. It will be 5-6-7 due up for the Gatemen. Will Cook digging in. He grounded out to Bostic back in inning number 2. Gets his second look at him. Bostic back out there for his fourth inning of work as this one's fouled up and out of play for strike 1. Bostic had a tough third inning in which he surrendered 3 runs, but other than that, he's been lights out. Retired the first 7 men he faced before surrendering a home run, walk, double, and then triple. 1-1 is the count and the pitch. Misses down low to make it 2-1. No real movement over in the Harwich pen. Out there in right field, they got a little bench where they can watch the game. Must be a serious glare with that sun setting, though. 2-1. Misses down low, 3-1. Bostic actually slipped and fell down there on the landing. Seems to be okay. Just an interesting little step he took there.
Devin, I really like the move here by Steve Ankler to keep Bostic in the game. You got 6 out of your starter last night, and we'll see how deep he can go here.
And the pitch swung on and missed. So it will be a 3-2 count. Bostic comes set, rocks and delivers. That one is going to be fouled up and out of play. Wyatt thought it was labeled for him. Not quite the John Sterling treatment for us yet.
And the hitter at the plate a little shy of the hitting talent of Justin Turner of Boston as well.
Yeah. No kidding. As that one misses up and away, and it'll be a leadoff walk. First leadoff man to reach on Bostic here tonight. Yeah, if you have a chance, check out that video. Please do. If you're listening at home, just YouTube John Sterling hit by baseball. Pretty interesting as he's calling the 9th inning, 2 outs of the Red Sox-Yankees game, and then he just gets hit right in the head with a foul ball in the press box. Seemed to be okay, though. 1-0 now to start off. Dixon Black popped out to the second baseman, Seaver King.
He said there was a lot of muscle up there, by the way, on the reactionary video.
No kidding, the 1-0. That's going to be in there for a strike to even up the count at 1. Around the league, Katuitt on top of Bourne, 1-0 in the bottom of the third at Doran Park. YD and Falmouth even at 0 in the top of the third, and Brewster on top of Hyannis 4-2 in the bottom of the sixth. Pitch is going to be lifted into center field. Going back to his left is Humphrey, and he could pitch a tent under there. Finally comes down and makes the play. There's one away.
Now a trio of flyouts being forced here by Bostic, and first start of the season, retiring 7 straight. This Wareham team is hungry for hits, Devin. You knew that it was going to be able to wake up with its lineup at some point. You get 3 runs on 3 hits off of Bostic, the Grayson College product, but getting the flyout is huge there after getting his 4th strikeout to close the third.
First pitch, going to miss inside for a ball. Murillo grounded out to first. A 3-1 put out back in the third. Runner on is Will Cook. He reached with a walk to start the inning. The pitch. This one's going to miss up high. Now hitters count 2-0 for Murillo. On deck, Kevin Michaels had the swing that really lit up this Gateman offense. A homer to left field. There goes the runner. The throw down is going to be not there in time. It skitters into center field. Looked like Camarillo, if he had been able to catch it, might have had a chance to tag out the runner, and Cook, whose slide appeared to be a bit short, could have just laid it right on him. But anyways, we continue on. 2 balls, 1 strike, excuse me, the count. As Murillo now with a chance for an RBI. The pitch. That one right down Broadway, and it'll be 2-2.
Huge chance for redemption if you're Murillo. To stretch the lead here, it's 3-1. Wareham over Harwich, a solo home run.
And the pitch is going to miss up high to work the count full. Good at bat that time by Murillo. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, and 1 on for the Gatemen. They lead this game 3-1. Thanks to a big third inning, threatening for more now in the 4th. That one misses just off the plate, and so it'll be the 2nd walk issued this inning.
Credit to Sebastian Murillo. He was able to take that changeup just at the knees, and he didn't get rung up on strikes. He's already 0 for 1 here tonight, put together a really nice at-bat once again this time, despite going to 2-2 and grounding out last time.
First pitch to Michaels is going to be in there for a strike. Michaels, as I just mentioned, had that blast. We'll see if he's able to catch up again with Bostic. Also has held down a really strong second base for the Gatemen here today. Got 3 or 4 putouts at least. As he rolls this one over to Camarillo, he goes to second for 1. On to first, it is in time. 6-4-3, a beautiful turn by the Mariners. Seaver King completing it. On to Ryan Wilson. That is how the inning ends. Mariners get out of a jam. We head to the 5th, 3-1 Gatemen on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back. Call to the bullpen here in Wareham. Night is over for Coleman Picard. He leaves the game after 4 complete innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 run, which was earned, walks 2, and strikes out nobody. Stranded 5 runners. That was the story of the day for him. Led on each of the 4 leadoff men in the innings he was in, and then stranded all but one of them. It's a 1-0 count now as the new pitcher is going to be Jack Bowery from Fairfield, Connecticut, attends Marist College in New York. Sophomore there, 5'11", 175. He's behind in the count, 2-0 against the top of the order and Jacob Humphrey. Now a strike is floated in there to make it a 2-1 count. Humphrey, Camarillo, and Culpepper due up for the M's, who trail by 2. The pitch. This is going to be popped up into foul territory over towards Bostic, who's treading over to the bullpen. That must mean his night is all but over. And so the Mariners will have a pitching change of their own heading into the 5th. This one's going to be lifted out to center field. Heading back is Glancy, battling the sun and trotting back. He makes a running catch out in the deepest part of the ballpark. Wow, did Humphrey give that one a ride, but it's just going to be allowed out number 1.
For the last 5 batters retired, going back to the start from Coleman Picard, and it's been a huge afternoon for Jacob Humphrey. Earned a walk back in the 1st and a single to center field, and had a lot of charge off the bat that time on a fastball high.
Digging in now is Ali Camarillo. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st and flied out to left back in the 3rd. Gets his 3rd at bat against the new reliever. No balls and a strike. The pitch swung on and missed to make it 0-2. Camarillo going to have to protect here. On deck is Culpepper, followed by Jones should we get there. Rocking and the pitch. Fouled off. Bowery trying to put away Camarillo with a big strike 3, but unfortunately, Camarillo spoils it. Oh, 2. Breaking ball misses up and gets by the catcher in Brennan. So count 1-2. Camarillo trying to put together a quality at bat. He's seeing 4 pitches. 1-2. It's going to be rolled over to 3rd base. Nice play on the short hop that time, and the throw on from Black is on the money for out number 1. Or, excuse me, out number 2. 2-away for Kalen Culpepper. He's walked and lined out to 3rd base. Black has been a magnet over there, it's appeared.
So it's a lefty reliever here for Wareham, who closed the season with 15 combined strikeouts over his final 5 appearances as a sophomore at Marist. And aside from that, he's forced a couple of quick outs here, a fly out and a ground out, working efficiently.
The pitch. Going to be in there for a strike, make it 0-1. Mariners trailing 3-1 here at Spillane Field on a cool summer night. This one's going to be fouled off, and quickly Culpepper behind 0-2. I'll tell you though, Wyatt, that pitch clock absolutely speeds up the pace of the game. I mean, it feels like we're flying. We're 1 out away from being halfway through it. Really just changes the tempo.
I'm still looking for the pitch clock here at Spillane Field. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't think there's one at many of the ballparks. The umpires track it themselves, and the players just kind of have to keep a mental note of where they're at time-wise. 1-2. Swung on a miss. Culpepper gets sent down to a knee on that swing. First strikeout of the night for Bowery. So the Mariners go down in order, 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the 5th, 3-1 Gatemen on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Gatemen, and called to the bullpen as expected. It's going to be Jalen Jones of Ohio State. Comes in with an 0-1 record from Ohio State, a 7.04 ERA in his 23 innings pitched, all in relief, 28 strikeouts, 22 walks, and 18 hits. First pitch to Jimmy Brennan misses high for a ball. Night is over for Josh Bostic. He goes 4 complete innings, allows 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned, walks 3, and strikes out 4 in his Cape Cod Baseball League debut. Jones comes set, the pitch. That one got a piece of the batter. It looked like it would hurt more than Jimmy Brennan is taking it. Of course, a catcher, so probably has been hit with a lot of baseballs.
Well, it was a strong start to his first start on the season, but Josh Bostic just losing control, and Jalen Jones losing control that time as well. Bostic aligned the solo home run back in the third.
Second time the Gatemen have had the leadoff man on. Last time came back in the 4th inning. First pitch now to the top of the order, and David Glancy. It's going to be a ball up high, 1-0. Bobby Bozer on deck as Jones takes a look over at the runner, and Brennan, who's back in there standing.
Jones did not get that much time at Michigan this season, rather 2 seasons ago before transferring to Ohio State.
So that one misses up high, almost got a piece of the batter, so it'll be 2-0. Jalen Jones struggling to find his control early on here. Native of Thomasville, Georgia. Went to TNXL Academy. 2-0 pitch. It's going to be in there for a strike. Gets away from the catcher and Arndt, who couldn't squeeze it. And down to second with ease is Jimmy Brennan in scoring position.
Definitely have to squeeze that if you aren't someone working with Jones for the first time here. A southpaw on the mound. As you said, just couldn't squeeze it in time.
Harwich staff came in with an opponent batting average of 1.172. Excuse me, and a 2.67 ERA. That is already going to be headed up. Count is 2-2 as Jones delivers another strike. Also a 1.04 whip for the Mariner staff. They've been fantastic early on. 2-2. It's going to be flipped into shallow right field. Out to get it is King, and he will make the play. Score that one an F4. And that will be 1 away.
Key for Jones here will just be to force contact on the ground. Not the highest strikeout pitcher this season at Ohio State with that ERA at just over 7. But if you can work with a runner in scoring position here, not to get too frazzled and go out by out here with 1 away, vacant base still to fill as well.
The pitch. It's going to be fouled off over into the netting behind home plate, and it's 0-1 to Bobby Bozer. Dylan Goldstein's on deck, followed by Cade Sullivan. Gatemen threatening for more offense. Here comes the 0-1 from Jones. It's going to miss inside to even up the count at 1. Runner on second is Jimmy Brennan. Ball, a strike, in and out is the situation we're in right now. David Glancy popped out to second, and now Bobby Bozer trying to make something happen. Jones now behind in the count, 2-1. Bozer on the day struck out back in the first and then doubled and came around to score in the third. He's got a chance to do some more damage on offense. The pitch misses up high, and so it'll be 3-1 now. Jones in jeopardy of walking the power hitter and Bozer. Jones set, and the pitch in there for a strike to make it a full count at 3-2. He's got to be selective though, can't leave one too much over the plate. Bozer will make you pay, as he made Bostic pay earlier in the game with that double. Payoff pitch coming. Misses up and away, and so it'll be a walk to make it first and second for Dylan Goldstein.
Tried a high fastball in 2 straight pitches, and Bozer wasn't willing to fall behind it. Just let it go high above the letters. A good take that time. Still 1 away, runners on first and second here. Jones had a vacant base to fill. And it's a Harwich team with a below 2.7 ERA. You don't want to be giving up extra base hits all the while, as Wareham has really started to come out of its shell.
Goldstein tripled in his last at-bat back in the third. Was able to chase in a couple runs with that. He's behind the count 0-1 after a swing and miss. Goldstein, hailing from Florida Atlantic University, native of Southwest Ranches, Florida. Coming into today, he was 4 for 11 with 3 RBI. Those numbers have both gone up since. Wrapped that triple down the right field line toward the Mariner bullpen. And then was stranded at third after a strikeout from Cade Sullivan. A ball and a strike. Bozer at first, Brennan at second. The pitch. It's going to be chopped over to Jones. He'll go to third and take the out there. Lavari thought about going to first, pump faked and threw it anyway. Mariners will settle for the lead runner. Nice play by Jones on the check swing that happened to go fair. And it looks like Dylan Goldstein, a little ginger on that left foot. He's going to need a minute as the umpire grants him time.
Goldstein could have easily put that one past the infield. Just sat back on a slider, and Jones got a bit fortunate there. He was in the right place to make the play in the third in the first place.
First pitch in there for a strike now to Cade Sullivan. Sullivan on the day with a pair of strikeouts. Struck out to start the second inning and struck out to end the third inning. Jones trying to escape this jam and strand 2 Gatemen. As I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but it looks like they're going to need the trainer out at first base to check on Dylan Goldstein. Surprised that didn't happen a little earlier. As you have the trainer working on that right leg, actually, it appears.
And it didn't seem as if he was gravely affected by anything, any sort of discomfort. Seemed to move down to first fine. But Jones right now, you consider a left-hander facing a lot of right-handers in this Wareham lineup. You have to be able to force a lot of ground ball contact. You have runners on first and second, 2 outs. He's done a good job of at least getting a couple of flyouts thus far.
So Jones just going to kill some time as the trainer is going to leave Goldstein, who appears to be smiling. Working on him, making sure he's good to go and run the bases. Still 2 away here. 0-1 is the count to Cade Sullivan. Brennan started off the inning being hit by a pitch, followed by a pop out to second by Glancy. Bozer then walked. Goldstein hit into a fielder's choice, and Brennan also was the victim of that fielder's choice. That's where we stand with the 2 outs, and Wareham trying to add to their lead. Pinch runner looks to be coming in for the Gatemen as Goldstein's night is evidently over. So we'll take a quick break, or no we won't. Not the end of the inning just yet, but pinch runner. Waiting on the announcement on who it is.
That's going to be C.J. Funk of Pittsburgh, the Bellefonte, Pennsylvania native, coming in to run at first. Offers some speed off the bench here for this Gatemen lineup.
Mariners trail 3-1 here, 2 away in the 5th inning. The pitch. Jones misses up high, and so it'll be a 1-1 count. Closing in on 7:30 p.m., just about an hour and a half since the start of the ball game. Not the pace Wareham's used to playing as. They've been finishing in just over 2 hours. Here comes the 1-1. In there for a strike to make it 1-2. Jones got a few pitches to waste. Sullivan trying to avoid his 3rd strikeout in the ball game out of that cleanup spot. One misses up high for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. As well as 2 men on and a 2-run lead for the Gatemen. 2, the magic number here in the 5th. The pitch. It's going to be cut on and missed. Down goes Sullivan for the 3rd time tonight, all by way of the swinging K. And that is how the inning ends. So Jones is able to escape a jam in his first inning of the Cape Cod Baseball League. We head to the 6th, 3-1 Gatemen on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Heading into the 6th inning, it'll be 4-5-6 for the Mariners. Kennedy Jones, Kenny Lavari, and Seaver King due up for the club. Back to the mound is Jack Bowery, as Mariners are trying to tag him for a couple runs. They trail 3-1. First pitch is in there for a strike to Jones, who on the day is 0 for 2. He popped out to first and grounded out to 2nd. He loves opposite field so much. He's had a pair of doubles out there against Orleans on Friday. As big wave and a miss that time to make it 0-2. But, yeah, loves the right side of the field and has found success with it, just not here tonight. Bowery rocks and delivers. An ugly swing that time from Jones, and he goes down. 2nd strikeout for him, or 2nd strikeout for Bowery here tonight. 1st for Jones.
Not a high strikeout team here tonight in Wareham, but if you're Jones right there, you certainly have to feel a sense of regret. Now 0 for 3. It's a little ways to go in this one to find some redemption.
Pitch to Lavari is going to be in there for a strike, so he starts behind in the count. Seaver King on deck. Mariners looking to get going here in the 6th inning. Big off-speed pitch that got Lavari to bite, and it's 0-2 now. Tell you, Bowery wastes no time on that mound. It's just about 5-6 seconds in between pitches, as that one's bounced in the dirt. Make it 1-2. Lavari on the day, 1 for 2. He singled in the 4th and also is grounded out to shortstop. The pitch is going to run inside. Almost got Lavari, but he's able to get out of the way. So count is now even at 2. The pitch. It's going to be grounded over to the right side of the infield. Kevin Michaels is there. He fires on the 1st, and that will be out number 2.
Bowery seeing some early action here. Last gave up 3 earned runs on 4 hits, a strikeout as well in 1 1/3 innings at Niagara against Marist, or for Marist, I should say. He had the 2nd most innings pitched there as a sophomore, native of Fairfield, Connecticut. He had the team's highest strikeout to walk ratio, that time getting it done on the ground after issuing 2 strikeouts.
First pitch is a strike in there to Seaver King, And then he grounds this one over to Michaels, who fires on the first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. The second one that Jack Bowery has had, 6 up, 6 down for him. Side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Gatemen on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back. Mariners trailing 3-1. Jalen Jones is back out there on the hill to face 5, 6, 7. For the Wareham Gatemen, it'll be Will Cook, Dixon Black, and Sebastian Murillo due up. First pitch is going to be in there for a strike. To start off, Cook, who on the day is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the pitcher in Bostic and then walked and stole a base in the 4th before being stranded. 0-1 misses up and away, and so it'll be 1-1.
All right, Devin, really important question for you. Probably the most important question I've asked you all season.
Okay.
Which College World Series matchup are you looking forward to seeing most?
That's a tough question. There's a couple Mariners that are playing in the College World Series for Wake Forest and Virginia, so I kind of want to see either of those clubs lose, quite frankly, so that we can just get the players. But it's a 1-2 count now to Will Cook. This one's bounced in the dirt to make it 2-2. Wyatt, how about you?
You know, that Virginia-Florida series is certainly intriguing, but I'd also have to look at the Tennessee-LSU matchup as well. You have the trio of SEC teams. Not to forget about the Horned Frogs going back to College World Series as well. We talked a little bit about Louisville yesterday and a little bit of a rebuilding year under Dan McDonnell after starting so dominantly this season. I think it won 18 of its first 20.
Yeah, no kidding. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch is going to be hit in the shallow center field. Going to be trouble for Humphrey, who's on his horse, and he makes the catch while losing the hat. Made that one look easy. It was a lot of ground to cover, and he puts it away for out number 1 here in the 6th.
Humphrey's done a great job in leading that outfield this season. He's been great at moving left and right, and that's what you need out of Humphrey, despite not being the hits leader here for Harwich.
Dixon Black on the day has popped out to second and flied out to center. Jalen Jones set to make his first appearance against the right-handed hitter, and Black lays off for ball 1.
Now, did you see the sequence of the 9th inning yesterday between Stanford and Texas?
I did not catch that. As that one runs inside, almost got a piece of Black, but he's ahead in the count 2-0.
Alberto Rios, he drove one to left field and went off the wall. Everyone in the ballpark thought it was a walk-off home run for Stanford. And then Texas second baseman and the right fielder couldn't track the ball, couldn't spot it in shallow right.
Oh, I did see that actually. Now that you say it, I think I just forgot who the teams were, but yeah, I did end up getting to catch that on social media as Jones is behind the count 3-0. Black way ahead. He can watch a couple pitches. And here's the 3-0 pitch. Misses down low, a 4-pitch walk issued. And so runner on first with 1 away for Sebastian Murillo.
Wareham's done a great job at limiting walks from its pitching staff, aside from the 2 that Coleman Picard, the Bryant product, gave up. But now 5 combined walks between Bostic and Jones here. You don't want to be giving those away too frequently here. Trailing by 2, you want to be able to get some quick outs with 1 away still.
First pitch is going to be in there for a strike to Murillo. Murillo is grounded out to first and reached on a walk before being the victim of a fielder's choice. See what he's able to do here in the 6th. As Jones takes a look over at first, almost threw it away. Nice job by Wilson to leave the bag and snag that baseball.
How surprised are you that the Padres are not in first right now in the West?
Pretty surprised, I would say. I may have picked them to win the World Series. So, you know, that's a little disheartening, but it is what it is. As that pitch fouled off in motion that time was Black. But yeah, they were my pick to win the World Series. So, I'm a little disheartened, but how about you? Who's your World Series favorite heading into the season?
I still think it's Houston.
Yeah, no, they're a powerhouse. They're just consistently good every year. Same core, and then they just add to it with Abreu.
And everyone zeroes in as a pickoff attempt's unsuccessful at first. Everyone kind of zeroes in on the starting rotation and how the aging Verlander held up so well there. But you look at Hector Neris out of the bullpen, even Framber Valdez and what he's done starting. It's been a dynamite pitching staff under Dusty Baker.
Jones takes another look over at first base. He was definitely rattled when he saw Black take off for second. Doesn't want that to happen again, and so he's keeping him honest over there at first. And they get him in a rundown this time. The throw to second, and in there with a swim move is Dixon Black. Jones had him picked off, but Black was committed to making it down to second, and he was able to get there. Those slides do not feel good on the gravel, but he's able to get the extra 90 feet for his team, along with a few scrapes to take home.
Yeah, Seaver King got caught in a 1-3-6 rundown yesterday in the 6th inning, I believe it was. And that time, Jones had him picked off, but Camarillo just couldn't make it.
This breaking ball is going to be lined into center field for a base hit. Headed home to score is Black. The throw comes and will be cut off by Lavari. He'll go to second, try and get the out there. Murillo is in there. So the Gatemen jump to a 4-1 lead. And the Mariners, just lack of offense continues to not help them. So it'll be a single and then an advancement on the throw, I believe, for Murillo to get into second. His first hit of the ball game. Kevin Michaels now will dig in. He homered back in the 3rd and then grounded into a double play in the 4th. As here's the first pitch from Jones to him. Misses outside for a ball. And it'll be 1-0. On deck, Jimmy Brennan, still just 1 away here in the 6th. Gatemen lead the Mariners 4-1. That one misses outside to make it a 2-0 count. This game not over by any means. Plenty of outs left, but the Mariner offense has been so quiet. Hitters count 2-0 now for Michaels. No activity in the Mariner bullpen, it appears. As this one's going to be cut on and missed to make it 2-1. Jones trying to get ahead of this hitter. He trails in the count 2-1. Runner on second is Murillo, and 1 away here in the 6th. 4-1 Gatemen. Pitch is going to be in there for a strike. He pounds the zone, and so it'll be 2-2 now. Jones coming set, tapping that right foot on the dirt of the mound and whips that one high for ball 3. Count is full now.
It's been a tough inning for Jones here, falling on behind in the count more often than not, now working with the runner in scoring position again.
As that one misses, and it will be a ball issued. So 3 straight base runners for the Gatemen after the first runner was retired. And so now they're on first and second for Jimmy Brennan, the 9-hitter.
Yeah, 3 walks allowed through the first 1 1/3 innings here on the season. Just hasn't been the start desired for Jones, but fortunately, so has a little bit of time here to at least get a ground ball double play now that the vacant base is occupied.
Brennan's been on base twice without using the bat as he lifts this one into center field right at Humphrey, though, and he has to take a step in to make that play right at him. Beautiful swing that time, though, and so that will be out number 2. Lineup card flips over for the 4th time today. David Glancy will dig in. Around the league, Brewster on top of Hyannis, 4-2 in the top of the 9th out at Stony Brook Field. YD and Falmouth still tied at 0, that game in the 3rd. Cotuit on top of Bourne 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th at Doran Park. And the Firebirds trailing the Anglers 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Brewster a point away from Harwich in the standings. Orleans tied at the top with the Mariners. It's a 1-0 count now to the top of the order, and Glancy, the pitch. It's going to miss outside for another ball, 2-0. Jones has been falling behind in these counts, and it's really not served him well. A lot of runners have been able to reach, but only one has scored off of him. It was Dixon Black in the inning. Breaking ball dropped in there for a strike to make it 2-1. Lights coming on here at Spillane Field as that sun is set behind Wareham High School, home of the Vikings as well as the Gatemen. That one runs inside to make it a 3-1 count. Glancy on the day, 0 for 3, struck out in the 1st, grounded out to short in the 3rd, and popped out to 2nd in the 5th. Bobby Bozer waits on deck. He's been on base twice. The pitch. Breaking ball down in the dirt, and it'll be another walk. The 3rd issued this inning by Jalen Jones. He's really struggling with his command, and now he's in a bases-loaded situation with Bobby Bozer, the 2-hitter, coming up.
Neither team has had a batter with more than 1 hit today here, Devin, but you notice how everyone but 2 batters in the Wareham lineup has a walk. It's been a very disciplined afternoon at the plate aside from the sparkling hitting back in the 3rd.
Here comes the first pitch to Bozer. It's bounced in the dirt. Nice stop by Arndt to hold the runner, and it's 1-0. Bozer struck out in the 1st, and then doubled and came around to score in the 3rd inning before walking in the 5th and being stranded. On deck is C.J. Funk, who came in to replace Dylan Goldstein, should we get there. Mariners fans hoping we don't, as there's 2 away and the base is loaded, so nowhere to put them. The only way this inning is extended is with another run plus for the Gatemen. 1-0 from Jones. Breaking ball in there for a strike on the outer part of the plate, and it'll be 1-1.
It's a great slider hovering around 80 miles an hour. We'll see how he can replicate that here.
Jones coming set once again, and the pitch. Breaking ball misses down low. Make it 2-1. And there's now activity in the Harwich bullpen, some stretching and tossing. You would imagine this is going to be it for Jones. Hopefully he can get out of the jam and get his lineup back up to work. Another nice off-speed pitch on the outer part of the plate makes it a 2-2 count. Big pitch coming up now for Jones. Here it is. Breaking ball gets by Arndt. Coming in to score is going to be Murillo, and every Gateman advances a step. So it'll be a 5-1 lead now for them.
Jones allowing 4 of the last 5 batters to advance here, and just cannot command with that slider on a consistent basis. He's tried to go into the lower half, but Wareham has not been following through here and trying to give him a bit of ease.
3 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Misses inside, so the wild pitch doesn't matter, as it would have been ball 4 to walk in a run anyway. So down to first goes Bozer with a free pass. 3rd time he's been on base today, 2nd by way of the walk. This will be the 8th batter of the inning for the Gatemen. C.J. Funk has not had an at-bat yet, as Coach Engler is going to head out to the mound and talk things over with his pitcher. Not sure if he's going to make a move yet. And we'll see what happens here. Looks like just a conversation. Calm him down. Try and get out of this jam. His team trails by 4. Coach Engler, of course, sitting on win number 399, trying to hit that 400 milestone here in his 20th season. And Coach Engler going to go to the bullpen. So that will be the day for Jalen Jones. He's responsible for all 3 runners on base. We'll see who the new Mariner wing is on the other side of the break. Pitching change here at Spillane Field. Mariners trail 5-1 on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back. Shane Cronin coming in from Assumption College in Worcester, Massachusetts. Native of Westwood, Massachusetts. First pitch is going to be way up there for a ball. Kind of slipped out of his hand there. This past season, he went 1-2 with a 4.50 ERA. Made 1 start, 9 relief appearances for the Greyhounds. 1-0. Bounced in the dirt to make it 2-0. Nowhere to put him here. Michaels at third, Glancy at second, Bozer at first. Cronin behind in the count 2-0. See what he's able to do. Pitch. This is low, and it's going to be 3-0. Looks like Cronin's trying to guide it in there almost, like aim it, and it's really not working. Not a lot of velocity on these pitches from the 6'1", 230-pound senior. 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle to make it 3-1.
That fastball didn't even seem to top 88, I'd say. Probably stay in the mid-80s.
3-1. Inside, ball 4, and the Gatemen score another run as everybody goes station to station. The Mariners really just struggling to get out of this inning. Everybody just moving up without the ball being put in play.
4 walks surrendered here in the inning by Harwich pitching. A team with a really low ERA, and it's given up a near handful of extra base hits.
First pitch misses for a ball to Cade Sullivan. He's the 9th batter in the inning for the Gatemen, who lead this one 6-1 over the Mariners. Next pitch from Cronin going to be in there for a strike to even up the count at 1. Will Cook awaits on deck should we get there. The pitch. Misses for a ball. Two balls and a strike now. Sullivan waggling the bat over his shoulder, and the pitch from Cronin is going to be popped up into the outfield. Humphrey coming in, sits under, and hauls it in for out number 3. But the Gatemen tagged 3 more, complemented by just 1 hit to go along with 5 walks in the inning. We head now to the 7th inning. Mariners trail by 5 on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Top of the 7th inning, and for play-by-play duties, I'll send it back over to my broadcast partner, Wyatt Kopelman, the rest of the way. Wyatt.
All right, thanks, Devin. Ryan Wilson leading off here against Bowery, the first reliever out of the pen for Wareham as he swings and misses for strike number 1. 6-1 deficit for Harwich. The 0-1 on the way. Fastball goes high and off the glove of the catcher in Brennan. 1-1 here with none away. The final line on Jalen Jones, the Ohio State product. Southpaw goes 1 2/3 innings, surrendering 3 earned runs. Here's the pitch. 1-1, skied over and hooking foul, just past the light tower down the right side. Count stays at 1-2. Final line on Jalen Jones is the Southpaw of Ohio State. 3 earned runs, 1 hit, 5 walks, and 1 strikeout. Here's the 1-2. Wilson lofts it foul down the right field line again. It's going to go foul. Four runs in the bottom of the 6th for Wareham after leading 3-1 going into that inning. Wilson on the day 1 for 2, the 1-2. Taken just on the inner half below the belt. It's 2-2.
And that out that he recorded in the 4th inning was a line out to the shortstop, Murillo, who made a great play.
2-strike pitch again. Lined in into the glove of Murillo. Didn't have to make a step at shortstop. Sebastian Murillo playing at the lip of the outfield grass so solidly that he didn't have to take a step to his right or his left, and there's 1 away here in the 7th.
Yeah, Mariners running out of time here into the 7th inning and just can't seem to get any offense going.
8 straight retired here by Wareham pitching. The first pitch to Brian Arnst is tapped back behind the home plate foul.
But, you know, credit to the Gatemen staff who came in not looking so great, and Bowery and Picard have been more than up to the task here tonight.
0-1, a called strike low and inside. It's 0-2 here. 1 for 2 tonight is Arndt, the 8-hole hitter, flew out to left field back in the 2nd, single to left back in the 4th. That's the most recent Harwich hit, 0-2. Tapped over towards the right side. 2 bounces from Michaels. He fields on to first, and it's in time. 2 away here in the top of the 7th. And Bowery working quickly here as he continues to work efficiently.
I'll tell you, Michaels is so smooth over there. His transfer time at second base, unbelievable how quick he gets the ball out of the glove. Hasn't been slinging it over to first, but that transfer saves him, so much time.
Here's Eric Orado, the rising senior at Northern Illinois, faces a lefty in Bowery. First pitch he sees goes high on a changeup for ball 1. Orado 0 for 2 here today. Bowery working quickly, 1-0. Taking on the outer half, it's 1-1.
We have our first final. Brewster tops Hyannis 4-2 to get a win at home in just 2 hours and 41 minutes.
1-1, misses low. 2-1 here for Arntz, the 9-hole hitter. 2 0 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 for Arntz, the 9-hole hi 6-1 lead for Wareham here in the top of the 7th, 2 away. Here's the 2-1 from Bowery. Taking strike down the middle on a slider. It's 2-2. Arado's had a quiet evening thus far. Grounded out to second in the 4th. Harwich not scoring since the 2nd. The 2-2. Tapped over towards the right side as it bobbles foul.
Arado definitely a pull hitter. He's grounded out to second twice and now yanks that one foul to the right.
No one to work with on base here for Arado with 2 away here in the top of the 7th. I tell you, Devin, 2 left on in the 1st, 2 left on in the 4th. 2-2. Skied back behind home plate foul. We'll do it again. 2 on in the 1st, 2 on in the 4th. A bit resemblant of what Harwich faced last night. Leaving 5 on combined in the first 3 innings. 2-1 loss to Falmouth. 6-1 lead for Wareham. The 2-2. Lined over to the left side and down for a base hit over the leaping glove of Black as it trails down the left field line. A wide turnaround first and into second as Arado will reach second, diving in safely. The relay throw almost beat him, and the speed of Eric Arado just getting to the bag in time as Harwich has a 2-out base runner in scoring position.
I would say that the throw did beat him. Just a missed tag that time by Kevin Michaels, able to get under it that time was Arado. Mariners will take it, but a strong throw by C.J. Funk out in left field almost had him. Now the Mariners threatening to score.
The Pittsburgh product almost seeing his benefits rewarded, and nonetheless, it's going to go back to the top of the lineup in Jacob Humphrey, the UMass Lowell product, as he watches one go low on a breaking ball for ball number 1.
Announcers Jinx in action there as we talked about how he was such a pull hitter, and then he lines one down the left field line. Go figure.
Humphrey 1 for 2 here today, the 1-0. Lined into center field, down for a base hit. Getting the wave around sign from third is Arado as he will reach. Diving in, and he's going to be not in time. An excellent 8-2 relay throw that time, starting with Glancy out in center field. He's been quiet in the leadoff spot today, but redeems himself from the outfield on a laser down into home plate as Harwich goes down quietly in the top of the 2nd, scoring no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and leaving none on base. 6-1 deficit for Harwich going into the bottom of the 7th. This is Harwich Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Six to 1 deficit for Harwich against Wareham here at Spillane Field going into the bottom of the 7th. As a chopper over towards the right side, bouncing ball for King. He fields and fires onto first in time to retire Will Cook. 9 batters brought to the plate in the bottom of the 6th for what turned into a 3-run frame after 5 walks were issued on Jalen Jones's line. So that brings up Dixon Black here after the leadoff ground out for Will Cook. It was no runs and 2 hits, 1 left on. Here's a tapper into the infield. Off the mound, Cronin uses left hand to fire down to first. It's not going to be in time. Dixon Black using the opposite way that time as he laid down a bunt, and Wareham has a 1-out base runner here, and to use the benefit against the expense of the left-hander in Cronin of Assumption.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Just one of those cheap infield hits, but the Gatemen will take it. Able to get themselves in business here.
Now Sebastian Murillo coming back up. He watches one high for ball 1. 6-1 deficit for Harwich here in the bottom of the 7th. 6 runs on 5 hits for Wareham. And one error committed. Harwich with 1 run on 7 hits. 1-0, a tapper over towards the left side again. Camarillo fires on a second for 1. The throw onto first, dug up out of the dirt in time. 6-4-3 double play from Harwich that time, as the runner on first is left stranded. The Mariners coming away with a 6-1 deficit going into the top of the 8th. And just like that, the inning draws to a close. We'll be right back. This is the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Six, 4-3 double play, getting Harwich out of the 7th as it comes back up to bat, leading off with Ali Camarillo, Caden Culpepper, and Kennedy Jones, the 3 due up here. 1 run on 7 hits for Harwich, 6 runs on 5 hits here for Wareham here at Spillane Field as the sun sets below and the lights are on here. Going into the bottom, the 7th, taken on the inner half for strike number 1 here from Camarillo. 0 for 3 today with the fielder's choice. A new pitcher into the game here, the second out of the bullpen here for Wareham. Here's the pitch, taken just outside. It goes to 1-1 here. It's going to be number 21, Lucas Malstedt, the junior of Wofford, Ormond Beach, Florida native. Ended his second season at Wofford with a 7-2 mark and a 2.69 ERA. Here's the 1-1 from the sidewinder, and it goes outside and above the letters.
Bowery goes 3 innings, just 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and strikes out 2. A great outing for him in relief.
Camarillo with a fly out and a ground out as he flares one foul down the right side as it leaves the ballpark. It's 2-2. 6-1 deficit for Harwich here in its second road game on the season. Lost its first game on the year after a 2-0 start. Combined 13 runs scored across its first 2 games as a 2-2 is swung on and missed. Camarillo goes down on strikes for the first time here tonight. The 3rd strikeout for Wareham pitching as it's a solid start here to his first outing on the season in Malstedt.
Yeah, just kind of the story of the day right there when you got your 2-hitter going down on strikes. Just unfortunately no real offense, nothing concrete for the Mariners. And their woes continue here out over the bridge.
Mariners out hit Falmouth last night 6-4, but fell 2-1. Here's the first pitch on the way to Caden Culpepper, and it's taken on the inner half for strike number 1. Culpepper walked back in the first, lined out to third, back in the third, struck out swinging in the 5th. And that was actually the first strikeout for Wareham pitching, a team that has struggled with its ERA this season. Culpepper, the Kansas State product, in a righty-righty battle. The 0-1, he watches go low and inside for ball number 1.
Bottom of the 4th, over at Arnie Allen Diamond, it's going to be 5-1 Red Sox over the Commodores.
1-1. Tapped behind home plate off the mask of the catcher in Brennan. As you were saying, some scores around the league. Notice that Katuitt was ahead 1-0.
Yep, over Bourne in the bottom of the 7th. And Orleans trailing Chatham 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th.
No one on, one out. Harwich trailing 6-1, 1-2. Lofted foul towards the right side. Running off the mound is instead going to be Cook from first. He had Molstead accompanying him there in foul territory right in front of the Harwich dugout. Now there are 2 away on the FO3, check that. So Culpepper falls to 0 for 3 with a walk on the evening. Kennedy Jones, the cleanup hitter, also trying to shake off an 0 for 3 start here. The UNC Greensboro product digs in from the right side.
Yeah, your 2, 3, and 4 hitters are a combined 0 for 11. Make that 0 for 12.
Lofted into left field. Running over to the chalk is CJ Funk as he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Harwich Mariners in order here in the 8th as they have 3 chances left, but first they'll have to turn it over and get out of the bottom of the 8th. 6-1 deficit for Harwich here at Spillane Field against the Wareham Gatemen. You're listening to Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Six to 1 deficit for Harwich going into the bottom of the 8th here from Spillane Fields. Wareham Gatemen have had their way all evening long. The first pitch from Cronin goes low and inside, and they're going to say it actually hit the leadoff batter in Kevin Michaels. So the St. John's product jogs down to first as a hits batsman plagues the reliever in Cronin. And that's going to bring up Jimmy Brennan, the post-university catcher here. Already forcing Cronin to work out of the stretch to southpaw wearing 33 in red. Here's the first pitch taken inside at the knees for ball number 1.
Yeah, Cronin's just got to find a way to eat up this inning real quick and get his offense a chance. I mean, Wareham's really been applying some pressure as that one gets by Arnton. Down to second goes the runner in Michaels. But just really has been a tough go. Ever since the Mariners got on the board first, they have been pretty quiet on offense. What a better time than the 9th to get going, though.
Harwich still has 3 outs to work with after Wareham scored 3 back in the 3rd and 3 in the 6th. Here's the pitch, goes high near the helmet. It's 3-0 here. 3 runs back in the 3rd off of a solo home run, a triple, and a double. 3-0. Taken high at the letters. It's 3-1 here on a fastball. 3 hits back in the 3rd. Only 1 in the 6th as 4 walks were issued. Rather, 5 walks were issued. Check that. 3-1. Fastball goes way high and outside. A 5-pitch walk here, and the runners are on first and second now as the vacant base at first goes occupied.
And Cronin visibly upset with himself. You can see him muttering, not pleased with the way his command has been. Now he's already in another jam. Runners on first and second without putting the ball in play.
So 2 runners on here for the leadoff hitter today in David Glancy. The center fielder watches one clip the upper inside corner. First strike, number 1. An inning and 2/3 for Jalen Jones, the southpaw of Ohio State. He gave up 3 earned runs, as did Josh Bostic of Grayson College in the start. 0-1 on the way. Called strike on the upper half. It's 0-2 on another fastball. It was 4 innings of a start for Josh Bostic, 3 earned runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He had retired the first 7 he faced before getting into trouble in the early innings. 0-2. Tapped over towards the left side. Tough play, diving at short is Camarillo. He's not going to be able to get up and make a play as he keeps the ball himself, and the bases go loaded here for Wareham, still leading Harwich 6-1.
Yeah, just nothing you can do. A really well-placed hit that time by David Glancy in his 5th at-bat of the ball game.
Single to shortstop here for David Glancy, as that brings up the South Florida product in Bobby Bozer. Standing at 6'1", 210, the junior, 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts last night. It's been different tonight as he swings and lofts it foul.
Found himself on base 3 times, pair walks and a double. Came into tonight 0 for 9 and really has exploded out of that 2 spot for Ryan Smith.
2 walks, a double to left center back in the 3rd. He watches one low. It's 1-1. Bozer hitting .323 in 52 games at South Florida this season. 2nd highest average for the Bulls down in Tampa. Bases loaded here, none gone. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, misses low, it's 2-1. Standing on 3rd for Wareham, Kevin Michaels. On 2nd, Brennan. On 1st, Glancy after the single to the shortstop in Camarillo. Here's a 2-1 from Cronin. Misses low again, it's 3-1. 6-1 lead for Wareham here in the bottom of the 8th from Spillane Field. Jalen Jones leaving the game with his 5 walks. 3-1. Goes low, 5-pitch walk here to walk in a run in Kevin Michaels as the walks continue to plague Harwich here with now 9 combined, 10 combined walks here on the evening.
Yeah, this has just been an ugly performance. Pitching coach going to come over, talk things with Cronin, but yeah, just really, really ugly. But the Mariners know they're better than this. It's just one of those games where you can't get the offense going. Just an unfortunate situation for them that they're, you travel all this way to Wareham. Your coach is sitting on 399 wins. You'd really like to be able to have that confidence to go out and win a game, but just unfortunately not executing.
It's been 5 strikeouts for Harwich pitching here tonight. Entered today with just 11 walks issued on the season. But everything has gone out the door ever since. Here's the pitch to Funk, and it goes high for ball 1. 7-1 lead for Wareham over Harwich here in the team's first meeting on the season. Harwich on the verge of going to 2-2 after picking up 2 wins to start the year. Here's the 1-0, and it goes low. It's 2-0.
Nice stop by Arndt there to keep the runners split. But yeah, Cronin, you can tell, just trying to guide it. Does not look like he's throwing with his full potential and really just seems uncomfortable on the mound.
2-0. Fastball taken for a strike on the inner half. It's 2-1. Funk this season at Pittsburgh hitting .272. Here's the 2-1. Cronin deals it low, and it goes to 3-1. Closed out the season with 4 hits in Pittsburgh's final 5 games. 3-1. Funk, a swing and a miss. And it's 3-2 here. He tried to chase the high fastball from Cronin, the Assumption product. Bases still loaded here in the bottom of the 8th from Wareham. It's been a 1-run inning thus far. 7-1 lead for the Gatemen over the Mariners. The payoff pitch from Cronin. Swung on and lofted out towards left field. It's going back. Jones looks up, and it's over the fence, and it's gone. A grand slam for C.J. Funk as the Pittsburgh Panther gets his 2nd hit on the night after tripling back in the 3rd. And now an 11-1 lead here for Wareham as it only gets worse here for Harwich pitching.
I mean, yeah, Cronin just lobbing him in there trying to get strikes, and unfortunately he gets tagged for a grand slam there. Credit to the Gatemen for being able to cash in, and credit to C.J. Funk. Wasn't starting this game, came in for Goldstein, and was able to really make an impact, blow this thing wide open. It's 11-1.
Lofted in the air towards right field. Catch is made for the out on Cade Sullivan, going down as a P4 that time. Now one away here in the 8th. Recording outs has been certainly not fortuitous here tonight for Harwich pitching. Jalen Jones giving up the 5 walks as Cade Sullivan flies out to the second baseman there.
And you got a decent start out of Bostic, and I'd like to think if the game was a little closer and that the Mariner offense had been able to produce, it might not have been Cronin in the ball game right now, and we could have a completely different story.
1-0 slider that goes down Main Street. It goes to 1-1. One away, an 11-1 lead with 5 here in the 8th thus far for Wareham. 1-1 on the way. Lofted out towards shallow left center field, charging on Jones, and he makes the catch this time for out number 2 here in the 8th. Fly out to the second baseman in King and a fly out to left, and that brings up Dixon Black here in the 6th hole.
And don't get me wrong, Shane Cronin's been fantastic for Assumption, but unfortunately just really trying to eat innings at this point with the lead where it is, and unfortunately just a victim of trying to get to the end of the ball game.
4 innings with 4 strikeouts out of Bostic. Looked dominant with the first 7 he retired. Here's the 0-1 on the way. Goes outside for Dixon Black. Black here today, 1 for 3. Fouled out in the 2nd. Flew out to center field in the 4th, 1-1. Taken off the outer half, it goes to 2-1. Reached on a walk back in the 6th, came around to score with 5 walks dealt in the 6th as Wareham now leads 11-1. The pitch taken inside below the belt, it's 3-1. And Devin, if you're Cronin right now, you're in your season debut here, just looking for commands. Tries to get back here. 3-1 is flared down the left field line. It's down for a base hit. Jones makes the catch, makes the track on the chalk, I should say. Digging in to second is going to be Black as he reaches with a 2-out double. And hitting continues to survey itself here for Wareham as it continues to find hits against Harwich pitching.
Yeah, this is just getting ugly quick. Unfortunately, you don't want to dip into another reliever with only 1 out that you need. So Cronin going to have to just find his way out of this inning. 9th batter coming up in Murillo.
Second time Wareham has brought 9 to the plate, did so back in the 6th. Here's the first pitch to Sebastian Murillo. The Georgia product watches it high for strike 1. Black standing on second after a grand slam from the Pittsburgh Panther and C.J. Funk. 0-1 on the way. Roped and through for a base hit towards the right side. Getting the wave around sign from third is Black. He will reach and scoring sliding in. On a 2-out RBI single, going into second is Murillo as Wareham now takes a 12-1 lead here at Spillane Field and will bring its 10th batter to the plate here in the 8th.
Yeah, they've officially batted around, and another thing that's really aggravating is you're seeing a real lack of effort from the Mariner defense. We saw that ball hit out to Kennedy Jones a little while ago. He was really slow getting it in a second. And then this one hit out to right, and Eric Arado took his time to field that one and then made a throw on 1 bounce to the plate that wasn't really on a line. Just not seeing a whole lot of giddy up, and I get it, you're down double-digit runs, but you still want to play for your pride. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League. Where would you rather be? You know, just there's always another game tomorrow. Just unfortunately not the Mariners' night.
So a grand slam and an RBI single from Sebastian Murillo draws Steve Englert out of the Harwich dugout as he will make a call to the bullpen here, as this will be the day for Shane Cronin, the Assumption product, in his debut. This is Harwich Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Pitching change here for Harwich, trailing Wareham 12-1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning at Spillane Field. The Tarleton State product, Dylan Delvecchio, the left-hander, stepping in for Cronin. 2 away. The first pitch that Kevin Michaels sees is taken high for ball number 1. Michaels coming up to bat for the second time here in the 8th inning after a grand slam from C.J. Funk and an RBI single from Sebastian Murillo. Here's the 1-0. Lofted out towards right field. It's trailing foul, and making the catch is Eric Orado. So 2 pitches and 1 out needed for Dylan Delvecchio as a San Marcos, California native gets Harwich out of the 8th inning. Nonetheless, a huge 8th inning with 6 runs scored on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base for Wareham. Going into the 9th, the Harwich Mariners down to their final 3 chances to draw within 11 runs or further. This is Harwich Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. And Ryan Wilson here against a new pitcher in for Wareham, Pittsburgh Panther Kyle Demai. First pitch lined back into the screen for strike 1. Kyle Demai, the sophomore at Pittsburgh, native of Wexford, Pennsylvania. He gave up 1 earned run, 1 hit, 1 walk with no strikeouts and no walks, and a 19-run loss against Wake Forest back in late April. Here's the 0-1 on the way to Lavari. Healthy hack and a miss. It's going to be 0-2. 11-run deficit here for Harwich after a 6-run 8th frame, including a grand slam from another Pittsburgh Panther in C.J. Funk. 2-strike pitch. Skied over towards the right side of the infield. Calling off is going to be Murillo in front of Michaels, the second baseman. He came all the way in from the left side of the infield, and there's 1 away as Harwich is down to its final 2 outs.
Yeah, an interesting call-off by Murillo. He must have been really locked in, or maybe something with the angle, but Gatemen will take it. They're just 2 outs away from getting back to 500 and drop the Mariners down to 500.
Now stepping in Seaver King, the Wingate product. 1 for 3 here today. The first pitch, he's swinging. He hits it over towards the right side into shallow right field. 3 men going after it, and 1 Gateman will take it, and it's going to be Michaels. Michaels running in from the lip of the outfield grass, and you could perhaps say that he was a Gateman that time, shielding it away from Bozer.
There you go. Well, Bozer actually lost it in the light. He threw his arms up. He didn't know where it went. And then, luckily, his second baseman was able to bail him out.
That's why you call it a Gateman. You're able to hold someone off. Even though there's no sun in the sky, you're shielding your eyes from the light here, with the light towers fully illuminated. 2 away, 12-1 deficit for Harwich, with Ryan Wilson stepping back in. The right-hander watches one go low for ball number 1. So the final line on Malstedt, the second reliever out of the Wareham bullpen. 1 inning pitch. Here's the 1-0. Line over towards the left side, past the diving glove of Black as it rolls down the left field line. A wide turnaround first for Wilson. He's charging into second, and he'll reach standing up with a 2-out double sharply down the left field line. How about the Davidson product and Ryan Wilson as he reaches for the second time here today after the RBI base knock back in the second.
He's been fantastic, and when you think about the times he's gotten out, both lineouts to shortstop, and I mean on a rope. He's been seeing the ball real well, and I'm sure he'll be rewarded for it in the days to come.
As I was beginning to say, the final line on Moldstedt, the second reliever from the Gatemen bullpen, 1 inning pitch, no earned runs, no hits, 1 strikeout, no walks. Brian Arndt stepping in. He watches a fastball go high and inside for ball number 1. So a 2-out double here from Ryan Wilson. He moves to 2 for 4 on the night. Arndt's trying to go 2 for 4 as well. He's 1 for 3 with a single to left back in the 4th. Harwich needs more than a couple of bloops and a blast here, trailing by 11 in the 9th. Here's the pitch. It goes low. It goes to 2-0. If you're just joining us late, folks, Harwich taking its first and only lead here in this ball game. 1-0 back in the second. Harwich had that RBI base knock out of Ryan Wilson. 3 runs in the 3rd, 3 runs in the 6th, and a 6-run 8th for Wareham. 2-0 goes low and inside. It's 3-0. A grand slam from C.J. Funk in addition to a run walked in. And it's been a different game ever since those early innings when it was a 2-run ball game for Harwich. 2-1 ball game going into the bottom of the 6th. So the 3-ball pitch coming here. Taken just on the inner half as Brian Arndt will earn a 4-pitch walk. And there are runners on first and second here as Eric Orado comes up looking for his second hit on the night.
Yeah, nice easy stroll down, 4-pitch walk. You'll take it if you're Arndt. Now we'll see if Orado's able to move these runners, and why not pick up a couple RBIs, make it interesting, extend the ball game.
Harwich coming into today with 12 RBIs, despite falling 2-1 last night. Team is yet to hit a home run this season. Here's the first pitch, swung on and missed for Orado for strike number 1. Fastball blown by him that time. Orado started off 0 for 2 here tonight, grounded out to second each time the 2nd and the 4th, doubled to left back in the 7th. Was actually tagged out at home as well, got sent around 3rd. The 0-1. Fastball misses above the letters. It's 1-1. And you just consider, albeit it is a more than a 10-run game, it's an 11-run game here. Had he not gotten the wave around sign there, he would have been able to perhaps score earlier on. 1-1 goes low, goes to 2-1. Orado got in a 3rd on a single to center field from Jacob Humphrey back in the 2nd, but an excellent zipping throw from center field. Had a relay throw that beat him by about half a mile. So 2 away, Harwich trailing 12-1 here in the top of the 9th. The 2-1 on the way. Big swing and a miss that time on a changeup. Goes to 2-2. Harwich down to its final strike. 12 runs on 9 hits here for Wareham. An error committed. Meanwhile, Harwich held to 1 run and 8 hits. Runners on first and second, 2 away. Here's the 2-2. Goes low and inside below the knees. It's 3-2 here to the 9-hole hitter in Orado. On second, Wilson after the 2-out double. On first, Arndt after getting a 4-pitch walk. This one not over yet here. Harwich trying to stretch across a run here and not go home with anything less than a crooked number. The payoff pitch. Runners go. Foul back behind home plate. We'll do it again. Now, Devin, you know he has to protect here. Orado looking for that second hit today. Huge spot. High fastball, even a low slider. You know you're going to have to be swinging here. Question is, how low can the reliever in Demai go here to get Orado to swing? We'll see. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball misses high, winning the payoff pitch, or the full count battle, I should say, Orado as he scoots Wilson over to 3rd and Arndt into 2nd. The bases are loaded here against the latest reliever for Wareham in Demai.
So now you got a little bases loaded spot. Let's practice some situational hitting because that's been a struggle of the Mariners. Here's a good opportunity to do it.
Humphrey skies one foul. Went down the right side there. 0-1 here to Humphrey, the UMass Lowell product. 2 for 3 here today. Bases juiced here for Harwich, trailing 12-1. 2 away. 0-1. Lofted back behind home plate. It's 0-2, and Harwich is back down to its final strike. 2-out double for Ryan Wilson, the Davidson product, after a pop-out and a fly-out to start off the ninth here. Aren't earning a walk. Arado did the same just now. The 2-strike pitch from Demai, a swing and a miss. Fastball blown by him. Harwich falls to 2-2 on the season with a 12-1 loss here at Spillane Field at the hands of the Wareham Gatemen. 12 runs on 9 hits, 1 error committed for Wareham as it picks up its second hit on the season. Harwich falling to 2-2 on the year with 1 run scored on 8 hits, no errors, as Wareham went to Picard for 4 innings of a start, Bowery for 3 innings, and looked to its bullpen thereafter with a 6-run 8th frame. 12-1 deficit and a loss here for Harwich, and now drops out of first place in the Cape Cod East Division standings. We'll step away for a moment. You're listening to Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. A 12-1 loss for Harwich against the Wareham Gatemen here at Spillane Field as Harwich drops to 1-1 on the road this season, 2-2 on the year. Wyatt Kopelman and Devin Dobeck here. Celebratory mood for the Gatemen, dressed in their crimson red uniforms with the white pants. Meanwhile, the Mariners, after losing 2-1 last night, Josh Bostic, the losing pitcher here tonight after he retired each of the 7 batters he first faced here in his first start on the season. Devin, taking a look at what Harwich was missing, got 8 hits, 1 run, wasn't a victim of the strikeout, only striking out 4 times, but the walk certainly biting the Harwich Mariners relief staff.
I mean, yeah, you got to find ways to just be better on both sides of the baseball. There was a real lack of effort at the end of the game, and I'm sure that this is something that will change. Just unfortunately, the wind was taken out of their sails after things kept going wrong. Pitching hasn't been the top of the league pitching that you've had through the first 3 games of the year, and the bats only produced 1 run despite 8 hits. They stranded plenty of runners on exactly 9. So unfortunately going to just have to find ways to be better at situational baseball and cash in. But for now, you're just going to have to accept the loss, take it on the chin, and move forward.
Jack Bowery, the left-hander of Marist, sophomore, picks up his first win on the season. The losing pitcher is Josh Bostic. Despite getting the starting nod for 4 innings pitched, he gave up 3 earned runs on 3 hits, dealing 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. Harwich falling to 2-2 on the season as Wareham moves to 2-2 on the season as well. Harwich entering here today with a 2-1 loss against the Falmouth Commodores. And Devin, it seemed as if Harwich would bounce back, and despite not striking out a whole lot, taking that 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the 3rd inning, certainly going to have to find more offense as Harwich left nearly 10 on. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on in the 9th. And you consider that, albeit you were down by more than 10 runs in the bottom of that 9th inning, 2-out rally certainly seemed alive.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Again, you just got to be better at situational baseball. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Mariners just not cashing in on the opportunities they're given. Even in the 9th, sure, you're trailing by 11 runs, but if you're able to find a way to just play for some dignity and get a few runs out of that, that would be great. But unfortunately, not going to happen, and it's a long ride home back to Harwich.
Top performers in the Wareham lineup here tonight. Taking a look at Sebastian Murillo with an RBI single. He went 2 for 4. In addition to Dixon Black, 2 for 4 as well. A 6-run 8th inning, vaulting Wareham ahead of Harwich 12-1, as Harwich never scored after the 2nd inning despite getting an RBI base hit from Ryan Wilson to score Seaver King. Harwich with 1 run scored on 8 hits, no errors committed, and leaving a good deal of men on base as well, leaving 8 on here tonight. Meanwhile, Jacob Humphrey in the leadoff spot here for Harwich. He had 2 hits, now 2 for 14 on the season, struck out swinging to end it in the 9th inning. Well, it was a disappointing night here at Spillane Field for Harwich after losing by a run last night, as the Mariners fall 12-1 and will return home to White House Field to take on the Wareham Braves for their 3rd home contest on the season and try and move to 2-1 and try and get their 20th-year head coach and Steve Englert his 400th win on the season. 12-1 loss for Harwich. And for one final time, for our producer, Sean Sears, and for my broadcast partner, Devin Dobek, I'm Wyatt Kopelman saying so long. 12-1 loss for the Mariners here tonight, falling to 2-2 on the season. Back tomorrow at White House Field against the Wareham Braves. But for now, we say so long from Spillane Field. This is Harwich Mariners baseball.